You need to join me for dinner tonight. We will be having a few couples over, so do not think of burying yourself in any work. You are supposed to be retired, which is the reason we moved away from Lockwood, said Priscilla. On the opposite side of the table, Edmund sat reading a paper while the maids rushed around them to place breakfast on the table. Edmund? Priscilla called him again after no response. Whatever is on that paper cannot be more important than what your wife is saying. I beg to differ, Edmund finally replied. If he continued to ignore her, his ears would only suffer. I told you to give me proper notice when you want to entertain your friends. A day in advance is better. If you had come to bed while I was still awake, you would have heard of it sooner. It isn't only my friends, but yours as well. We haven't been around many of our peers since we returned. Well, you have not. I don't care to be social like you are. I grab a drink with a friend once in a while and call it a day, Edmund replied. That is why your reputation will fade away. People will forget you ever existed. Speaking of reputation, I have to suffer through questions about your son's wife. I have a headache just thinking about it, Priscilla said, touching her head. I cannot stomach the thought of Edgar creating a new generation with that girl who has nothing. He loves her, so you should stop judging her and welcome her into the family. From my mother's letters, Alessandra has been welcomed into the family. You are only making trouble for yourself by being against their marriage. Take her under your wing, and Edgar shall come around again. Edmund suggested what should have been done from the beginning. Under my wing? Priscilla chuckled as she found it to be a joke. I only pick girls with good backgrounds under my wing. My standard will fall if I let someone like her in. She is now a duchess and your daughter-in-law. I do not recognize her as either, Priscilla replied. You mustn't. Priscilla looked to her side where the chatter was coming from. She informed the maids she liked silence in the morning, so whoever was creating the noise was looking to be fired. Who is it being so loud? Send them away. Edgar? Priscilla choked up at the sight of her son. For a moment, she thought she was still dreaming as she watched him approach the table. Edmund placed his paper down, surprised to see Edgar paying them a visit. Edgar, what a pleasant surprise. It is not like you to visit us. I had some motivation that brought me here. Do you wish for me to leave? Edgar asked, stopping before he reached where he wanted to sit. Edmund was suspicious of the visit, but he would not send his son away. No, have a seat. We were just discussing you and your wife, he said. Edgar sat down in the middle of the table, at an equal distance from his parents. Is that so? What about? Edgar calmly asked. The maids were quick to start setting up the space in front of him. My mother and a few of the relatives have taken quite a liking to your wife. Alessandra is doing a wonderful job making everyone fall for her, even you. When am I going to see some grandchildren? I want to shower them with gifts and make my friends jealous. I am tired of having to listen to their stories and have none in return, Edmund said, eagerly waiting for him to have little children to spend time with. You were hardly around for me, so what makes you think I am going to let you disappoint my children? Edgar retorted, not feeling bad at the hurt expression his father now wore. Are you trying to make up for what you lacked with your son through your grandchildren? Alessandra and I will soon have children. It is unfortunate they are lacking grandparents on both sides. Edgar, what on earth are you talking about? Our relationship needs to be worked on, but it is not bad enough that you should not let me see my grandchildren, Edmund said, furious by the news Edgar brought to him so early in the morning. Why are you here, son? To have Breakfast. We have not sat like this in a long time. You would be buried in work, Mother arguing about not having enough attention, and me in the middle, wanting to be somewhere else. Those days were entertaining sometimes, Edgar said, picking up a knife and fork to begin eating. I would have brought Alessandra along, but I could not bring myself to subject her to the torture of sitting at a table with the two of you. Edgar, that is enough. We are still your parents and are deserving of respect. You should be grateful if we were to allow her to step foot into our home. If you have come here to insult us, you can leave. Priscilla pointed at the door. Like always, I must disobey your commands. I am not leaving what shall be our last breakfast together. It is quite good, Edgar said before placing a fork full of egg in his mouth. Father, the person who can best answer your question of why I am here is her. He pointed at his mother. Edmund looked at his wife for an answer. I do not know why he is here. This game you are trying to pull is not funny. Stop eating and be honest with us about why you are here, said Priscilla. The weight was eating her up. What made their son, who hated visiting them, come so early in the morning? A dear friend of mine was killed yesterday. He died far before his time, and, worst of all, he died with no one by his side. We buried him first thing this morning. What does that have to do with us? If you came here to be comforted, you are asking for it the wrong way. Why didn't you go to that wife you hid at home? Priscilla asked, not the slightest bit interested in this dead friend. Edgar placed his knife and fork down. You needed to let me finish, Mother. I spent many hours searching the snow for someone I care for. Edmund tried to listen to Edgar's words, but the sight of a maid with a worried expression running towards him caught his attention. What is it? He asked the young woman. There is a group of men out front the house with weapons. They wear the symbol of a falcon. Edmund looked back at Edgar, who had gone quiet. Edgar, why are your men outside my home? Edgar turned to his mother, who appeared confused. I am here for the person who tried to kill Alfred. Speak while you still have your tongue, Mother. Priscilla was stunned to hear Edgar mention killing Alfred. She wanted to when she saw him yesterday, but after their conversation and Frederick arrived, she decided against it. That bastard, she thought, realizing Frederick must have gone against her decision. It would not be the first time he had done this. You were so talkative a second ago. Do not be silent now, Mother. Who did you order to kill Alfred? Edgar asked, his patience quickly running thin. He was glad Alfred stopped him from coming last night. He had more time to think about how he would deal with his mother. Priscilla, Edmund said, refusing to believe she would have a hand in hurting Alfred. Please tell me this is a misunderstanding. I did not order Alfred to be killed, Priscilla replied with the truth. She mentioned it to Frederick when he arrived, but quickly changed her mind. She had mentioned killing Alfred to Frederick many times before and during the time he killed Jennifer for her, which was why he must have gone ahead to do what she could not finish. I do not believe you, Mother. No, you are not deserving of such a title. You are far from being a mother. You were pushed to have me before you were ready, so I am giving you back your freedom. In my eyes, you are no mother of mine. It will make what I plan to do much easier for all of us, Edgar said. Not long after, the sound of something crashing and screams flooded the house. Edmund and Priscilla were both equally confused and shocked by what was happening outside the dining room, while Edgar remained as calm as when he entered. Son, This is madness. Your mother says she has nothing to do with it. I am just as furious with you as I am with her. For years, you have covered up the things that she has done while you go out and talk about the kingdom needing to become safer. We both know that she had something to do with the attack on Alfred. Unless you want to join her, I suggest you shut up. Edgar snapped at his father. Edmund was aware of the foul things his wife did to get rid of the people she disliked. Instead of putting an end to it, he would always cover up for her. Edgar thought of taking both of them, but right now he would settle for his mother. Priscilla was confused by the mention of Edmund joining her somewhere. Join her where? She stood up, afraid of the noise that was coming towards them. The unfamiliar voices of men told her Edgar's men had stormed inside. I had nothing to do. You have no clue who attacked him? Edgar questioned, looking up at Priscilla. He noticed the way she slipped up by wanting to say something, but then she bit her lip. I don't need to hear your words when your body language reveals the truth. Enough! Edmund yelled, banging his hand against the table. It is too much for you to storm our house like this. Far better than my plan to burn it down with the two of you inside, Edgar replied. He had a far better plan in mind for his mother. You're starting to make me not want to separate the two of you. Priscilla hurried to Edmund's side just as men filled the dining room. Their clothes were coated with blood. I am not going anywhere with you, Edgar. The man you want is Frederick. He has a group of men at his beck and call. Priscilla, Edmund said, realizing that she was involved. He had hoped it wouldn't be true, though he knew she would do something like this. This wasn't the first time he heard of this Frederick. You! He balled up his fist at a loss for words. He made it clear over and over again how much they owed Alfred for being there for Edgar when they were not. How could she be so foolish as to target Alfred, knowing how Edgar would react? Still, Edmund wasn't on board with her being taken away to wherever Edgar had in mind. I will deal with your mother, he said, pushing her behind him. All the men Edgar brought along with him, including Reed, did not move, even though their target was right there. They waited for Edgar to give them the command. Deal with it? How? By yelling at her and then trying to hide her tracks? You are useless, which is why I will take this matter into my own hands. She is going to tell me everything she knows about this Frederick. Edgar explained his plan as he stood up from his seat. Fine. I know where he lingers daily. You can go to him and take your revenge. I swear to you, I did not order him to kill Alfred. You must leave after I tell you what you wish to know, Priscilla stated, still hiding behind Edmund. Nonsense. We shouldn't ruin this breakfast any further. You will be coming with me. Regardless of whether you gave the order or not, you wanted to kill Alfred, and he was attacked by someone looking to please you. He spoke of feeling like he was on the verge of dying. You must learn what that feels like. Get her. Edgar ordered Reed and the other men to collect what they came for. Edgar! Edmund yelled at his son, blocking his wife from being taken by men he did not know. She needed to be punished, but not like this. Call them off. Do whatever you need to do to pry her off of him. Over 20 years of marriage, but only now does she cling to him. I have other things to do, Reed. Do not make this long, Edgar said, leaving Reed to lead the men to take Priscilla and drag her out. He planned to make her feel what Alfred felt, like her life was about to be over with each step she took. Luckily for her, Edgar was not going to kill her. He would only make her wish she was dead before releasing her. A couple of days in his dungeon would end the games she played with him, Alessandra, and Alfred. With Edgar gone, Reed slowly approached Edmund, who he deemed to be a respectable man. It was only a shame he kept protecting the woman behind him. It is pointless to try fighting against us, Mr. Collins. None of us want to drag your wife out of here, but we will if needed. Hand her over while we are being nice, Reed said, inspecting his sword covered with the blood of men who tried to stop them from entering the house. You see, we all care for Alfred no matter how many rules he drives us crazy with. I'd hate for Edgar to lose a mother and a father in one day if you do not move. Edmund, don't you dare let them take me, Priscilla pleaded with him. Fight them! She pushed her husband forward. He was once an excellent fighter among his peers, and could still take these young men. She only needed him to distract them so she could run away. That is embarrassing, Reed muttered, feeling sorry for the couple. But it didn't last long. Edgar will have our necks if we wait too long. Get her? Priscilla, go with them. What? Priscilla screeched at her husband, who clearly lost his mind. Our son wants to punish me for something I did not do, and you want me to go with these men? Is this your way of getting rid of me? I cannot fight them all, said Edmund. Edgar had a good amount of skilled men by his side, and as someone who hadn't fought in years, Edmund knew he would only injure himself if he tried. Even if I do, Edgar will come to take you himself, and I cannot bring myself to fight my son. Good choice. Reed clapped his hands. He preferred his captive come willingly, rather than all the kicking and screaming. You can't fight your son, but you can watch your wife be taken off to be hurt. I am not. Do you want them to drag you out of here and be embarrassed in front of the servants? Or walk out with your head held high? Think about that reputation you cherish so much, and go quietly. It won't be long before someone passing by notices something is wrong. Go, Edmund said, stepping to the side for Priscilla to leave. Edmund, I do not want to die, she cried, refusing to let go of him. I did not order Alfred to be killed, I swear it. You won't die, Edmund confidently spoke. Alfred won't let him kill you, and Alessandra seems to have the heart that won't let him kill his own mother. Well, they don't know what Edgar's plan is, but sure, Reed thought. He sighed, missing his old, peaceful job at the gates. He got to put his feet up and send the pest away. Now he was stuck doing this, and seeing his brother way too much. Priscilla didn't like Edmund's plan, but if he wasn't going to protect her, she would only end up being manhandled by these men if she ran. You are a disgrace of a husband, she muttered before walking out from behind him. Do not touch me, she said to the men Edgar brought to her. Only if you did not run, Reed replied. He let her walk in front of him, so if she tried anything foolish, he would swoop her up and take her to the carriage himself. Priscilla tried to keep herself together as they passed her guards, sitting on the floors with wounds. She thought Edgar's men had killed them, but it seemed they had just wounded them to stop them from blocking their way in. She was furious that mere guards were being spared, yet she was leaving to be tortured by her own son. Priscilla eyed the familiar carriage she spotted outside with hate. After everything she did for Edgar, this was how he wanted to treat his mother, his own flesh and blood? She was truthful about not ordering Alfred to be killed. So why was she the one being sent off to pay for it? If she wanted Alfred dead yesterday, she would have the job completed. Priscilla walked up to the carriage, not waiting for anyone to open the door for her, and stepped inside. Her eyes quickly went to Edgar, who sat alone, looking away from her. Edgar? She called to him, but got no answer. Are you satisfied with embarrassing me in front of my servants? No, I wanted to kill you. Do not make me regret not doing so. You should count yourself lucky. It is not every day that I let a prisoner ride with me. Be quiet, or I shall tie you to a rope and let you walk the way back to my estate," said Edgar, refusing to look at his mother. "No," Priscilla stated, refusing to be silent when her life was on the line. "We are having a conversation right here, right now, so that I can play some sense into your head. I did not order him to be—" "But you were going to. Alfred already told me what the two of you spoke of. Had the two of you not spoken, you would have wanted to kill him, and it is because you wanted to kill him that you alerted the man named Frederick. I do not know what I am more hurt by. The fact you wanted to kill someone who raised your son, or you have no remorse when you claim to have called it off," said Edgar. "I am sorry." Edgar didn't care for her apologies and said, "You are not. You are only apologizing because you were caught. Had I not correctly guessed that it was you, you would have never mentioned this person disobeying your order and attacking Alfred. Save your apologies, as they are worthless now. You are something special. To hate him when you should be thankful for Alfred being in my life." "Thankful? Thankful to the man who my son listens to instead of me? The man my son loves more than me? You are my only child, Edgar. It has ached my heart for years to see you care for him more than you do when it comes to me. My only child belongs to me," Priscilla exclaimed, letting out her frustration. "Thank goodness you never had another child. The company might have been nice, but I'd hate for anyone else to share the loneliness I suffered from for years. I hated being alone as a child, but then I sought after it as I grew older, because I did not want to deal with people like you. Then there were the annoying plans you had laid out for me, the wife, the children, and the lifestyle. Each one of them was irritating. I wanted the best for you, just like every other mother did," said Priscilla. What was so wrong with creating the right path for him? "No, you wanted me to fall in line with the pretty image you created amongst your peers, hoping I wouldn't damage your reputation. I met a woman who I fell in love with, but you couldn't put your own desires aside to welcome her into our family. It was the least you could do for me. Does it not hurt you that I have to hide my wife from you to protect her?" Edgar asked, finally turning to view the woman who was once his mother. "It hurts me that you went against the woman I picked out for you. How could you not be upset that you have not gained anything from this marriage? Once a baron's daughter, she has now gained the wealth of a duchess. Your wealth." Priscilla stressed the last part. "Your children will have nothing to gain from their mother. They will gain her heart. A heart I wish you had." Priscilla gripped her dress out of anger and annoyance that this conversation wasn't going her way. "You always make me out to be the bad guy when you are far from being a good person. You have killed people others care for." "I do not hide that I am a bad person. I do not hide anyone I have killed, and I am allowed to call you out for being a terrible mother. I will fix your antics with your punishment," Edgar replied. "You do not have to stay with me, Alessandra. I have already eaten, and you've brought more books than I needed for my time on bed rest. Please find something else to occupy your time with. You still have a party to plan," said Alfred. He hated to see Alessandra spending her day taking care of him when it was meant to be the other way around. "The kittens will be upset if I leave now," Alessandra lied, holding up the white kitten she brought along to keep Alfred company. "Therefore, I will stay." Alfred stared at the kitten, who couldn't care less where it played. If he were to throw one of the toys Sally made for it out the door, it would chase after it and never look back. Alessandra placed the kitten back on the floor since Alfred did not buy her excuse. "I want to stay here a little longer, and then I will give you some alone time. Also, I won't be planning a party anymore. At least not for a little while. I had enough of the conflict it brings. I will be planning a sleepover for not more than 5 women. A sleepover? Here? Alfred questioned, as he found it hard to believe Edgar's home would have overnight guests. Yes, I brought it up to Edgar already. I have most of it planned out, but I have not thought about the food or how to decorate the rooms we shall sleep in. I will need your help when you are better. It must sound childish for young women my age to have a sleepover, but we could all do with one night to get away from our problems, said Alessandra. I am not judging the type of party you have. I am glad you have found your circle of women all by yourself. They will be much better than the list I created for you. I will create the menu. I have nothing else to do at the moment but read, Alfred said, closing the book he was almost done with. I'm sure you will be back to your daily activities in no time. You look better than you did last night. A good recovery gift will be interviewing the men wanting to become Edgar's butler. You can have fun teaching them all that you know, and Edgar spoke of you wanting to open a school. No one can match the skills I have as a butler, but I will try my best to help them come close, Alfred replied. Alessandra bit her lip as she refrained from laughing. She thought Edgar got his ego from Rose, but it seemed a part of it came from Alfred. Yes, no one can ever match how perfect you were as a butler, she agreed with him. When did Edgar say he will return? I doubt he is having a good time with his parents. If only he would let me go with him. It is my arm that is injured, not my feet. Did he tell you what he planned to do with his mother? Alfred asked, full of curiosity. When Edgar came to visit him early this morning, he was much better, which only worried Alfred more. Edgar and Priscilla would certainly clash, leaving Edmund in the middle to calm both of them. Alfred knew Edmund wouldn't allow Edgar to kill his wife, which would create a fight between father and son. He did not mention it to me. Honestly, I did not ask what his plans were. We will find out together when he returns. Whatever happens, his mother needs to be responsible for her actions. I will not question what Edgar has done, Alessandra said, choosing to stand by whatever Edgar did to his mother. It should have happened by now. Duchess! They heard Sally's voice from outside, followed by a few knocks on the door. Come in! Sally opened the door and walked to the bed. Duchess, men from the court are here to have a word with you, she said. Alessandra was confused as to why the court would want to speak with her. At first, she thought it had something to do with what happened to Alfred. But then she remembered her inheritance. She had not received anything from her grandmother or Katrina. Let them inside. Alessandra gave the order for the gates to be opened. What are they here for? Alfred asked after Sally left the room. My inheritance, which is rightfully mine. I know that my father spent it, but after the stunt Katrina pulled with Mario, and then visiting with my grandmother, I could not let them get away with something else. After everything they have done, I cannot allow them to keep what belonged to me, too. Your moment alone came quickly, Alessandra said, smiling as she stood up. She left the kitten behind so Alfred wouldn't be all alone. Alessandra walked out to the front door to await her guests. She was anxious to know if Katrina was able to pull the money out of thin air, or if she had come up with some excuse. Had her grandmother truly provided the money to keep Katrina from getting arrested? After years of them not getting along, of course, now would be when they start to see eye to eye, Alessandra thought. Sally came to stand behind Alessandra, watching 3 men ride toward the house. She hoped trouble wasn't coming to Alessandra while Edgar was currently away. Duchess? Mark greeted her as he walked up the steps with Declan, leaving their horses in the hands of Zachary. It is a pleasure to finally meet you. I offer my late condolences to your father. We received your notice about your inheritance and have been working on it. We won't take up too much of your time today. Please come inside from the cold. Alessandra welcomed them in. She briefly glanced at the large box one of them was carrying and wondered if it belonged to her. Mark stepped into the home he wouldn't be able to enter if Edgar was at home. He would not have made it past the gates if not for Alessandra. He didn't particularly have an issue with Edgar, but they always stayed out of each other's paths, as long as Edgar wasn't causing trouble. Your grandmother paid all the money left to you from your father and mother. All that is missing are items from your mother's list. Your stepmother has 1 day left to either provide us with those items or pay what we deem a reasonable price, Declan explained, setting the box with the money down on the floor. We are trying to find your mother to alert her of this issue. Alessandra froze at the mention of her mother. Tell me, why does everyone have this reaction to your mother? Are we searching for a dead woman? Mark asked. I genuinely do not know if she is alive or dead. I have not heard from her in years, and my father never spoke of her whereabouts. It was surprising to hear someone is searching for her. I hope you can find out about her so that I can stop guessing what has happened to her, Alessandra said, eager to hear news of her mother. We will send a notice to you the day we find her. In the meantime, we have gotten in touch with your grandparents. They will be coming to Lockwood soon. Perhaps they will give you a better story of where their daughter ran off to.